Today's top stories, everything you need to know about monkeypox.
A baby goes into anaphylactic shock from alternate formula.
President Biden returns to the U.S. after his meeting with Indo-Pacific leaders.
Memorial Weekend is upon us. The latest travel and safety updates.
Good afternoon and welcome to Northwestern News Report. I'm Seth Humanick.
And I'm Jessica Lazo. Today's top story, health experts weigh in on growing concerns about monkeypox in the U.S. Erin McMahon has the story.
Thanks, Jess. The U.S. is releasing the monkeypox vaccine from its stockpile today. Health experts say that Americans shouldn't panic, but should still be aware of how the virus is spreading and the symptoms. So far, cases of monkeypox have been showing up in the U.S. as well as other countries. According to health officials, monkeypox is spreading through very close contact and not through the air. It causes lesions, rashes, swollen lymph nodes, and fevers. The WHO says the smallpox vaccine is also known to protect against monkeypox. Health experts say that monkeypox is unlikely to evolve into a global pandemic such as COVID-19. But if you are experiencing symptoms, tell your doctor immediately.
With the baby formula shortage in full effect, some parents are taking alternative routes in order to find food for their babies. A Nebraska woman did just that, sending her child to the hospital. Adelina, a 3-month-old child, is recovering after suffering from an allergic reaction. Unable to find her regular food source, Natalia Renteria settled for a liquid form of food for her daughter, one she hadn't used before. From there, Adelina started to get a rash after the first bottle. Over half her body was covered in rashes, leading to the decision to head to the hospital right away. It was later discovered her reaction was due to the eggs and the safflower in the formula. According to Chai Health, Adelina is the first case of anaphylactic shock they've seen since the shortage began, and the reaction is rare.
President Biden returns from Japan this morning after making waves during a diplomatic visit to Tokyo. During his trip to Tokyo to discuss trade and security with leaders in the Indo-Pacific region, President Biden caused a stir with his off-the-cuff remarks on Taiwan.
Are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that?
Yes. We support the one China policy. We support all that we've done in the past. But that does not mean that China has the ability, the jurisdiction to go in and use force to take over Taiwan.
Biden's comments drew the ire of the Chinese government, as one official urged the president to be careful with his words. White House officials are reluctant to endorse the president's remarks. Officials restated U.S. support under the One China policy, which recognizes Taiwan as part of China, but does not officially recognize Beijing's claim to the self-governing island.
With Memorial Day weekend just a few days away, AAA estimates 39.2 million people will be traveling for the holiday. That's up 8.3% over 2021. It's the unofficial start of summer, which means it's time to brush up on water safety. Let's throw it to our Jack Savage, who's down by the lake.
Thanks, Jess. Drowning is a major public health issue, with over 3,400 people drowning each year. That equates to almost 10 per day. It is the leading cause of death in ages 1 to 4. It can happen quickly, unexpectedly, without sound, but the fact of the matter is it's completely preventable.
What are some ways we can prevent this type of tragedy from occurring, Jack?
The 3 biggest keys. Key number 1, never leave a child unattended, unsupervised, or out of arm's length in a body of water. Number 2, always know where the exit is before you get in and make sure you'll be able to get to that exit. And number 3, no CPR. You'll never know when you need it, and in case of an emergency, you can save a life.
Thanks, Jack.
Coming up, three's a crowd as Kate Moss is set to testify in the Johnny Depp-Amber Heard defamation trial. But three's the magic number for Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, who tied the knot for the 3rd time last weekend in Portofino. Welcome back. We now bring you entertainment news updates. First up, new developments this week in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Our Chantel Ropp has the latest. Chantel?
That's right, Seth. This week marks the anticipated conclusion of the month-long defamation trial, with a new celebrity witness expected to make an appearance on Wednesday, actress Kate Moss. Moss dated Depp back in the 1990s, and a source close to Depp says he and Moss are still close. Now the Pirates of the Caribbean star is calling on his ex as a rebuttal witness. Earlier in the trial, defendant Amber Heard brought up Depp's relation with Moss during her testimony. In a 1998 Rolling Stones article, Depp is quoted saying, "I was with Kate. Yeah, she gets a severe beating." Depp's team has no comment on the quote. Depp is suing Heard for $50 million, alleging that her 2018 editorial for The Washington Post defamed him. The op-ed did not mention Depp by name, but he claims it falsely painted him as an abuser. Heard has countersued for $100 million, claiming Depp's attorney calling her abuse claims a hoax defamed her. Seth?
Thanks, Chantel. Bruce "The Boss" Springsteen is getting ready to head back out on Thunder Road. Springsteen announced a new tour with his E Street Band today. The tour will be the first in 6 years for Springsteen and the E Street Band, who have been performing together for nearly 50 years. No U.S. tour dates have yet been announced, but the European leg of the tour will kick off in Barcelona on April 28th of next year.
No trouble in paradise for Hollywood's favorite lovebirds. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker tied the knot for the third time in Portofino, Italy on Sunday. The pair first exchanged vows without a marriage license in Las Vegas, but legally married earlier this month in Santa Barbara. The couple was surrounded by family and close friends who shared much of the celebration via social media. The bride, groom, and most of the guests don extravagant Dolce & Gabbana attire. Best of luck to the happy couple. Who knows? Maybe we'll see wedding number 4. After the break, kicking down barriers, soccer's biggest win for women came off the field. And new information on the tragic death of ex-NFL player Dwayne Haskins.
At Northwestern.
Welcome back. The U.S. men's and women's national soccer teams are now receiving equal pay, eliminating the controversial pay gap that led the women's side to file suit against the U.S. Soccer Federation. The women's team will also receive equal World Cup prize money and $22 million in back pay for the next union contract. And more women are breaking barriers in the sport as well, as Julianne Sitch becomes the second woman to coach an NCAA men's soccer team. Julianne Sitch makes her way back to the University of Chicago after recently getting hired as the head coach for the men's soccer team.
I was fortunate enough to be a part of the hiring committee and be able to interview the candidates that they had brought in onto campus. And by far, Coach Sitch was the most qualified that we had, and she's clearly shown that.
Previously serving as the Maroons women's assistant coach for 5 seasons, Sitch transitions back to the college scene after spending 3 years with the Chicago Red Stars.
I knew even prior going into the Red Stars that I would eventually find my way back to the collegiate game. And so when this opportunity had come about, knowing what Chicago is about, knowing their athletic department, knowing their athletic community, knowing the men's program, knowing the women's program, I was like, absolutely, I'm gonna, branch out and kind of take this opportunity to go interview for the job.
And with her prior experience playing and coaching at the collegiate and professional level, her players are looking forward to the upcoming season.
She brings something that a lot of our past coaches haven't been able to bring to the table, and we're hoping that combined with just her intensity and everything will just lift us over the top.
So as Sitch takes on this new role as UChicago's men's soccer head coach, she also hopes to bring more visibility to women coaching on the men's side of sports.
We have to be in these positions so young girls can continue to see that. It's even, I think about it the same for myself. When I was growing up playing soccer, I saw a lot of MLS. Went to a lot of the Chicago Fire games, and it really wasn't until 1999 when really, I started decorating my room with all these woman posters of Christine Lilly and Mia Hamm and stuff, and so once those moments where we started to see it, we started to believe it, started to dream it, that I could be a pro soccer player. And so I think it's the same thing now with women just stepping forward and being in the roles of coaching men's side.
A role where she hopes to help break the female stigma in the coaching industry.
Regardless if I'm coaching men or women, I'm coaching athletes. I'm coaching people that want to be better. I'm coaching people to be their best selves on the field and off the field. My approach doesn't change. The culture doesn't change. Every coach, male or female, has something to bring to every athlete, right? And I think that that's the thing that we have to keep remembering.
Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins was intoxicated when he was killed by a dump truck last month in Florida. The Broward County Medical Examiner's Office reports that the 24-year-old's blood alcohol level was more than double the legal limit at the time of the accident. Haskins was trying to cross a part of Interstate 595 when he was struck. Haskins was a 4-year NFL veteran who had been with Pittsburgh since 2021.
And for an update on the NBA and NHL playoffs, JP Acosta joins us here on the set. JP, what do sports fans get to look forward to today?
Thanks, Jess. NBA fans can look forward to watching Game 4 between the Golden State Warriors and Dallas Mavericks. Hockey fans also have 2 games in store. The Calgary Flames will take on the Edmonton Oilers, and the New York Rangers will face the Carolina Hurricanes, both in Game 4.
Thanks, JP. That's all that we have today for Northwestern News Report. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks, JP, for coming on. We'll see you next time on Northwestern News Report.